Today we're going to talk about 7 things you need to consider when lifting your Jeep Grand Cherokee WJ. A lot of you guys have been complaining about me moving around the camera, so I tried doing a tripod today. I swear this is the biggest rock I can find. Anyways, check out this kit. I got inspiration from Dan. I'm going to have these on my website soon, so be on the lookout for that. I'm showing you because I just got them cut. So the first thing is when you lift the Jeep, it's going to require more money than just a lift kit, okay? There's a lot of parts that you need to replace. It's not just getting a lift kit and slapping it on and you're good. No, that's not how it works. And I learned that by doing it myself. So I'm letting you guys know so you guys know for your build as well. One of the biggest downfalls on these Jeep Grand Cherokees is the drive shaft. So if you don't have a double cardan drive shaft, you definitely want to upgrade it because it can actually go out like the next day or a couple months, but it will go out. So start saving up for that. Start saving up getting a better drive shaft. And Adams, Iron Rock, Tom Woods, whatever you get, Carolina drive shafts, whatever you can get your hands on, you definitely want to upgrade it. And there are upgrades like from a V8 that you can do. That's what I have. So you don't have to spend a ton of money trying to get that double cardan. You could just go to the junkyard and find one. Number 2, so this one is brake lines. A lot of people don't even think about it, but honestly, if you're going, I would say from 4 inches and above, you definitely want to upgrade the brake lines in the front because with all that travel, they're gonna extend. And I noticed when I put it on a lift and I saw the arms extend. Sorry, there's a range here, so that's why you hear all that noise. But you definitely want longer brake lines because they do stretch out a lot, like to the point where it's super tight. What I ended up doing for now is I bent up the bracket, and I'll show you guys right here. You don't have to buy them right away. You can just bend up the bracket like I did, and that should be enough for you guys. So I'm not sure how much they cost, but I definitely do recommend buying some. Also, if you're going like 4 inches, you definitely want to get long arms. I'm all about them now. Now that I have them, I have long arms in the front, short arms in the rear. So when I go over a speed bump, the front, it feels like it floats over the speed bump. But the rear feels like you're going on a roller coaster, and the rear just hits really hard when you go over a speed bump compared to the front end. Honestly, spend the extra money, save a little bit longer and do it right. Get the long arms. I do want to get the rear long arms just because I see how the front is. So I want to match the rear, get good ride quality. And honestly, you get a lot more flex too. So it's a win-win. Now, if you have the Inline 6, you will have the Dana 35. The Dana 35 is probably the weakest axle that you can have, especially if you're going over 31s. If you're running 33s, you definitely don't want to run a Dana 35. Get the Dana 44A out of a V8. That's way stronger and it bolts right into these. Don't waste your time and just do it right away. I didn't know that. My rear end, the spider gears blew out, so we have something in the works with the Dana 44 coming in soon, so just be on the lookout for that. Thanks to Paul, so it'll happen within a month or 2, so be on the lookout. If you have the Inline 6, upgrade the rear axle. You don't want to have that weak axle breaking down while you're off-roading. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you lift it, you're obviously going to get bigger wheels, 33s maybe. I would recommend staying with 31s if you have the Dana 35, but if you upgraded 33s, definitely want to upgrade that. So that's more money. Another issue with lifting your Jeep, you want to get proper steering. I'm all about Trailforge. I always mention it. I love their products, good quality. They give you candy in the packages. That's the only reason I buy from them. Just kidding. The steering. You want to have proper steering. You want to have proper steering angles. So you do the over the axle track bar. You got to make sure you do over the knuckle steering setup, like the tie rod and the drag link. If you don't, you're going to have offset steering like that. You want it to be parallel, the drag link with the track bar. So just make sure you save up enough money to get proper steering. I would honestly consider, if I was buying a lift kit now, I would buy the lift kit and the steering at the same time because you're gonna need it. And probably your stock ones are worn out, so why not upgrade? Another thing you gotta consider is the gearing if you upgrade your tires. So when you lift the Jeep, you're obviously gonna get bigger tires, but what about the gearing? You don't wanna run the stock gearing. It's not gonna run right. You're gonna have issues like on the highway. You're gonna have issues getting up and going and on the highway. So make sure you upgrade your gearing. With those new axles from Paul, we're gonna have upgraded gearing. Thank you, Paul, again. I'm running the stock gearing and the 33s. It just feels like a dog. It feels really heavy. So I wouldn't recommend running 33s with the stock gearing. Even though I am, do as I say, not as I do, right? The last thing you wanna consider upgrading when lifting your Jeep and getting bigger tires. With the bigger tires, changing out the wheels, you're gonna have more weight on the Jeep. The stock brakes, they kind of suck. They're not that great, honestly. When I put those wheels on and I went up to a stop, I would literally like roll over the line because I wasn't used to how heavy the Jeep was. You have to stop like way before. So I would recommend upgrading brakes. I think I've seen people use EBC brakes, Power Stop, something like that. I don't know, but upgrade your brakes, get some better ones. Also, what I've read online, the drilled and slotted rotors, they're not good. They get dirt trapped in there. It's not good for off-roading. It is good for street performance, but not off-roading. When you do upgrade the brakes, just get regular rotors. So with all that being said, when you do lift your Jeep, don't just look at the lift kits. You have to literally piece everything out, see what you're gonna need to get the proper lift, get the proper steering, proper drive shaft, proper brakes. Just make sure you put thought into all those pieces as well. You don't have to do it all at once, but definitely get it done as soon as possible. That way you get the best driving Jeep that you can get, and you're not out there on the road stranded, struggling with broken axles like me and bad brakes. I don't know. But definitely consider all these upgrades that I'm telling you. It's things that I've personally ran into that I'm gonna be upgrading soon. So keep all that in mind when lifting your Jeep. If you don't want to deal with all that, get like a 3-inch lift. You don't need long arms for that. You probably don't need the longer brake lines. Steering, I would recommend regardless, but I think with the 3-inch, you'll get away with just a track bar. And with the 3-inch, you'll be on 31, so you wouldn't have to worry about the rear axle as much as running 33s. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this is a little bit different, being on a tripod instead of moving around how I usually do. So if you like that, leave a comment down below so I can continue making videos like this. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.